According to committee officials, Thursday night's primetime hearings will include videotape testimony from senior Trump White House and campaign officials as they seek to demonstrate that the violence of January 6th that caused several deaths and left scores injured was a multi-step effort to overturn the results of the 2020 election and stop the transfer of power from Trump to Biden. The hearing will also see eyewitness accounts, including from members of the Capitol Police who were in the direct firing line that fateful day.
The committee has found evidence of concerted planning and premeditated activity. The idea that all of this was just a rowdy demonstration that spontaneously got a little bit out of control is absurd. You don't almost knock over the U.S. government by accident. People are going to have to make judgments themselves about the relative role that different people played. But I think that Donald Trump and the White House were at the center of these events. That's the only way, really, of making sense of them all.
Thursday's hearing is the first of a number expected this month and is seen as an effort to counter the narrative from former President Trump and the Republican Party at large to downplay the violence of January 6th, and comes just 5 months ahead of midterm elections that will determine which party controls both houses of Congress.
We may have more confirmation about what took place, but we know what happened on that day, right? I mean, Donald Trump began his assault on the integrity of the election during the summer of 2020. He carried it out in unprecedented ways, trying to delegitimize the, mail ballots in the post office and calling into question the integrity of the election. He pressured election officials to overturn legitimate votes. I mean, this was a comprehensive campaign that began during the summer of 2020, of which the attack on January 6th was only one piece of a much larger, very public set of efforts to undermine the integrity of the election and to ensure that he stayed in office despite not winning the election.
Trump has maintained his false claims of election fraud and criticized the committee's work as yet another witch hunt against him and his supporters, despite it including in its ranks 2 Republicans, including Vice Chair Liz Cheney.
Today, we face a threat America has never seen before. A former president who provoked a violent attack on this Capitol in an effort to steal the election has resumed his aggressive effort to convince Americans that the election was stolen from him. He risks inciting further violence. Millions of Americans have been misled by the former president. They have heard only his words, but not the truth, as he continues to undermine our democratic process, sowing seeds of doubt about whether democracy really works at all.
All major networks plan to cover the hearings live, while the right-leaning Fox News will carry the event on its less-watched business channel. Republicans argue that the committee is not about seeking the truth, but rather a smear campaign against former President Trump, against Republican members of Congress, and against Trump voters across the country. But Democrats believe they have uncovered overwhelming evidence of a plan to overturn the 2020 election in coordination with a violent assault on the Capitol, as the world now waits to see the committee lay out its evidence and which individuals and groups might be ensnared therein. Shervin Briceby's SABC News, New York.